if we'll only avoid any confrontation with the enemy, he'll forget his evil ways and learn to love.
What up, what up, what up, YouTube? Second Fortnite video, TC Thief coming at you. Switch from a ninja to a soldier because plan on being in Twine Peaks the next week or so. Level 64 right now. I recorded this video a couple days ago, so it's a couple days old, but I'm preparing because from what I've heard, the ninjas are not very viable in Twine Peaks because of all of the stuff going on with the bees and, you know, the AoE, the massive you know, debuffs that the ads put on you when they explode, you know, blah blah blah. Don't know if it's just bad players that don't know how to play in a melee class in an MMO, but we'll see. I'll do some testing. I really like the ninja, but I have been playing a soldier lately, so I've been using a lot more ammunition because on the ninja, most of your damage comes from ability damage, you know, be it Dragon Slash or, you know, whatever. So you don't need to use a lot of ammo. I've been cutting through ammo ridiculously fast, and, you know, I go through about 2,500 bolts every couple of days. So I needed a solid, fast way to farm bolts, and this is what I have found. I've been in people's discords, you know, sitting around the campfire talking, and, you know, they say that hitting cars in the city zones and hitting the parking meters and all that trash that's in the city zone, that's the fastest way to farm bolts. It is not. This is the fastest way that I have found to farm bolts. All right. I made this video, but I didn't make a screen that highlights what the industrial zones are. So we're going to do this the old-fashioned way with Microsoft Paint. All right, so the industrial zones look like this right here. All right, there are these two little hangars right here. Bam, bam, and they got these connexes, all right? All in every person's map, unless you're really just starting out, you should have a mission on these industrial zones. You can see there's, oh, where's my circle? You can see there's one right there. There's one right there. I have one right here, but there's also one right here. You can't see it because the thingy is covering it up. But pretty much, there's a industrial zone. There's industrial zones all over the place. So try to get on a mission on one of these industrial zones, and this is by far the best place to farm bolts. All right. The only mission that I wouldn't suggest doing is evacuate the shelter, because you have to get to the shelter and you have to kill all the husks, or you'll like immediately fail the mission. All right, you can do this in an encampment mission. You can do this in a rescue the survivors missions. You don't need 20 minutes to go in there and farm this. This is gonna take, when you get, you know, really proficient at it, it'll probably take about 6 minutes. So you'll be in there and out of there, and this is gonna yield you, depending on, you know, the RNG of what's in the map, probably about 300 to 600 bolts per farm. Did it the other day, and that's I had one that was 300 and one that was almost 600. Now, first things first, when starting out this map, let me get rid of this paint. All right, bam. I'm always on top. There we go, so I can see. All right. First things first. All right. When you get in this map, there is a certain building that you want to look for that is going to help you, that is going to increase the amount of bolts that you're going to be able to farm. It's not necessary that this building is there. It just makes it a lot better because there is a lot of bolts inside this building. All right, and this building looks like this right here. Let me get through the map. You can see that I selected an industrial zone, but this is what this building looks like. All right, remember, it's got the two garage doors in front, and it's got a smokestack on the left and a chimney on the right. What I do is I go in and I'll go from building to building, because I typically like smash everything inside the building. I've got pretty proficient at going around this map. and I know what buildings to look in and what buildings to skip. You can look inside of them. If it's a bunch of boxes, just skip it and go to the next one. You're looking for like electrical components and you know, the racks of pipes and the chains. But this building right here, this building will yield you like 300 to approximately 300 bolts. So 250 to 300 bolts from this building alone if it spawns. Remember, it's a RNG spawn building, all right? So it rotates through. You're not necessarily going to get this building, but if you do, cool. If not, just, you know, move on and go, you know, go to another building and do something else. I'm not going to take you through this whole building because basically what I'm doing is I'm looting all of the pipes inside the building, all of the chains, and I'm smashing all of the machinery in the building. The reason why cars is not the most proficient way of doing this, takes a really long time to smash a car. You know, you're just, why, you know, it's fun smashing cars, but it takes a really long time. These most of the machines inside these buildings takes 2 hits with your pickaxe. So it's really quick. You can go through building to building and shoot through this stuff without sitting there and, you know, farming your entrenching tool over and over and over again. So once again, this building, I go in there with 1,779 bolts, and I come out with, I think it's like 2,000 and something, but this is what the pipes look like, what you want to be looting. Remember, don't smash the pipes, loot the pipes, and the same thing with the chains. This is what the chains look like. There's a shit ton of these in that building, so just go through and loot all of them and smash all the machinery. Remember, loot it, don't smash it, because if you smash it, just gives you metal. It's not going to give you any bolts. All right, I go through, I think I pull an encampment, but not to bore you on this, just showing you what I come out of there with. So I think I end up coming out of there, you can see right there, I have 2024. So I come out of the building, I go in with like 17 and some change, and I come out with 2,000 bolts, probably about 250 bolts from that building. All right. The next thing in the industrial maps, if that building doesn't spawn, typically in the industrial maps, always these like little power plant things spawn. All right. They've got these little electrical nodes, or whatever you want to call them. This little area right here, there's probably about 80 bolts in this area. If you smash through this with your, you know, Outlander fist, and crush all of like the solar panels and, you know, whatnot in this area, it's going to give you probably about, you know, 70 to 80, possibly 100 and some change bolts. All right, so look for these areas. Typically a couple of these areas spawn per industrial zone. Throughout the map, there's going to be a lot of electrical boxes spawn, so those take 2 hits, smash those, and depending on how big the electrical box is, it's going to give you, you know, 3 to 10 bolts per. Now these little electrical areas, they look, there's several ways that they can look when they spawn. These two were just 2 of the ways that they look, but just be on the lookout for these like telephone poles, or like you know, something with wires sticking out of it, or whatever, you know, electrical components. It's usually in these fenced-in areas, but this is a really good place to find bolts in these in this area. So once again, this is the electrical zone. Let's get to the next slide. These generators right here, these generators will give you 12 bolts per. So use, but the only bad thing is it takes a really long time to smash. All right, use your Outlander punch and you can punch through these things, but there's a lot of these in the industrial zone. So every time you see one of these, go hit that, and you're gonna get like more than 10 bolts depending on where you are at in the game. This is what the little electrical boxes look like around town. There's typically about like 40 of these per map. So in this industrial zone, just run around and whack these. It takes 2 hits with your pickaxe to kill this and get the bolts from it. But that's all I have for the bolts. Once again, this is my second Fortnite video. I'm going to keep it up because I got really good responses from the first video. Got a bunch of subs, and I think I'm going to keep doing this because not a lot of people are doing this for the Fortnite PVE community. But once again, next video, we are going to talk about why the Special Forces soldier is the best soldier. It is demonstrably the best soldier. There's wives' tales out there that Urban Assault is the best soldier. It is not. I'm telling you, it is not. The Special Forces soldier is the best soldier by far. And the next video, me and Mark will come on. Mark is the other, he's my brother. He's the other rage brother in this YouTube channel. But we will talk about why the Special Forces soldier is the best class in the game. It is the best class by far. And all one needs to do is just sit there and read the cards, and you can see why it's the best. That is, if the ninja is not viable. The ninja dragon has massive AoE, and if you can keep up the AoE with keeping out of, you know, damage pools or whatever, the ninja probably will out damage the Special Forces soldier, but that is only because the AoE from the ninja is so massive. If it is what they've rumored it to be in Twine Peaks, I don't know, I'll be there next week. Special Forces by far. I mean, like I said, read the card, and if you think I'm wrong, you can post down in the comments why you think Urban Assault is better, and I'll tell you why Special Forces is better. Hey, but once again, this is TC Thief. This is my second Fortnite video. Do me a favor, mash that sub button, share this video wherever you can, and appreciate it. Later.
And they say if we'll only avoid any confrontation with the enemy, he'll forget his evil ways and learn to love.